Hey, what's up, lone viewer? Just getting a few things set up here. Gonna start putting stuff together, tearing things apart, all sorts of fun stuff. Give me just a few more minutes. Sorry, just having some problems with the camera there and focusing, but I'm gonna live with it. Well, I've got a few things that I'm planning to build. This is not one of them, but this is just a cool old happy hacking keyboard case from ye olden days. It's actually got this in a same kit as I got this old wrist rest that has the HHKB branding on there and all sorts of salaryman, blood, sweat, and tears or hand oils or whatever the heck. But it's definitely what one would call patinaed. So I've been digging that and typing on it, and why not? And also it came with this guy, a little bit of yellow. Looks like whoever owned this stayed hydrated. It's not quite 20 years old, but getting fairly close. So this is a 2046 serial number of the just the regular KB 300, so printed. And I don't even know if I had my mic on, so we'll see. Let's hope I'm not blowing this one here. But yeah, I picked that up from Japan, where all the good keyboards come from, and it's a pretty nice looking board. Sounds good. I did open this one up to lube a few things. It's not silent, so it's you can still definitely hear when it clacks. But hey, what up, Neko? I was just showing off the just a quick little Pro 1, few months shy into the year, turns 20 years old, so picked that up, and came with this nifty little case and the salaryman sweatboard there. So yeah, that was a cool little get. And it's not the best case. I mean, it's it's just this foamy stuff, but I do love that everybody loves the happy hacking logo, so I dig that. Oh, damn. But yeah, the real thing that I'm working on is actually in that right there. And I will say I do like the cases that they sent these in. These are kind of cute. I'm using one for my my Veracity Steel data pad right now. But yeah, it's doing the show thing. Last time he threw in free rings. This time he throws in a free case. But in that case, not a whole lot. If you've built these or if you've watched people build them, you've seen what's up. It's got a plate, got some hardware, got a housing, a cable, and a nice little breakout board that gives you USB-C, so it frees you from that old switch. And one thing I do like about this that he kind of I don't know if it's he fixed it because of the issues that people had with the S60, but he actually put a metal plate on the PC, so I like that. I don't know what the reasoning for that was, but I'm not mad at it one bit. So yeah, so got this stuff, and I'm just gonna get this crap I don't need out of the way, because the real fun stuff is coming up. So our buddy Cip sent me a few things. Obviously not the stuff below it, but this pile, and anyone who's in R2 is probably already, you know, receiving their stuff, but got a few things. So got the Pro 2 board with the hub controller, just because I like that USB. Might be using this one later today, so I'm gonna set this one aside. That's his Pro 3 controller with the you know, the EC Pro X board in purple, which I dig. So I'll set that one aside because I might be building something else if I just breeze through this numpad. Another Pro 2, just because I've got housings on housings of those and got some fun plans. Oh wait, no, sorry, another Pro 3. Again, because I got housings and housings, and I got shit I can put them in. And then the fun stuff, you know, we got the EC23 board, so I'll need one of those and grab a daughter board, set those aside because I'll use that today. The RF, you know, Real Force 1, 8, 9, XU, I don't know what the heck. But again, I've harvested enough of these, I might as well bring one back to life. These are the fun ones. I got those battery controllers, so I'm gonna talk to a buddy and oh yeah, big ship show. So yeah, these are he sent me 4 of these. I'm looking forward to trying these out. They got all the stuff all, you know, tacked down on there. There is, you know, some light soldering that I need to do to make these work, and got all these millions of cables to cut up and do things with and plug them in places. So yeah, that's gonna be a super fun project. Not messing with those today, but I will definitely. What's up, Shiwa? Yeah, mess with those soon, because I got some things those can go in. Those can be a lot of fun. I'll mess with that later. But for right now, we're first focusing on the EC23U board, and I will be doing the you know, the layout with the multiple 2Us. So let me, yeah, there we go. So it'll be like so is the plan. And yeah, I'm stoked for this. So let's get some crap out of the way, and I can start building stuff. And this one I was thinking and mentioning on Discord, I'm gonna try to make this the, you know, the We Are the World of you know, 23U builds. I'm gonna try to include parts from as many vendors as I can think of. So let me oh, nice. Hell yeah, Neko. No, that's awesome. I just realized I got that kind of weird 70s porn unbuttoned thing going on there. So let me fix that. But yeah, man, I'm super stoked for these Cip boards. So oh yeah, you're for you know, I don't know. That's for my other Twitch stream. But yeah, so let's look at this thing, because I'm digging these little daughter board breakouts that both, you know, Cip and Show have provided, because I don't know, I like USB-C. I like being able to use all of my own parts for things. So what this I'm looking forward to is maybe if I can use this in here, I can pull this one out of here and put it in one of my data pads, and so then I have USB-C in my data pad, and it's just, you know, everything coming together. 223 uses a split Topra. Yeah, you know, I've got another one. I could set it up and, you know, mess around with it. But yeah, well, you know, maybe we'll play some fun games later. But for right now, man, I am. Yeah, Cip, good job. I know you're not on here, but I'm digging these. I am digging these boards. I haven't plugged them in to play with them yet, but you know, we're gonna do that here shortly, and it's cool. So yeah, let's pop this lid off of here, get some tools out, and I feel like this one's gonna go together pretty quick. But I've got some fun stuff. So I got, first off, I know I talked about them, I got the Extreme Domes, you know, the BKE Redux. So we are gonna be using a whole bunch of these, and you know, they're individual, so you gotta line them up nice, but man, the pop on these things, these are heavy. These are the ones that I know Colt's been looking for, and you know, several other people are on the hunt for these. But yeah, I've put them in several boards, I think 3 boards now, and I pulled them out after a couple weeks use. So I don't know, they've never really sold me on an everyday use board. So I figure this will be my my tax numpad that I bust out every year to, you know, torture myself in multiple ways. And Oh man, Shiwa, I wouldn't want you to hurt yourself. No, please don't. Please stick to your, I love lightweight. These are I got 30 gram in this thing, and I don't know, I'm probably like triggering things or typing somewhere, but yeah, I really dig the lightweight too. So don't hurt yourself for our entertainment, please. But I mean, financial gain, $1's a buck. So if that motivates you, then don't not do something because I said so. All right. So we got several different screws here. So I think I need to figure out what goes where. Obviously, I know where the black ones are. Let's just get those out of the way. So we got these two posts, which I'm assuming these guys go and hold those in because there's these two kind of recessed drilled spots here, and those maybe pass through there. Do they attach to anything? Or are those just like pins to hold it in place? Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Let's figure this. Let's just figure this thing out. I'm not too worried about it. How hard can this be, right? And I probably should have gotten like a thing to keep all these screws from going away, but I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. This is a last minute stream plan, and I'm just kind of going with it. So let's all right, the one thing I am using OEM are springs because, sorry Des, I'm just not feeling the springs lately. I've got a couple boards that are using the volcanoes and they're working great, but the one that I had I hated, and I just recently, just for fun, built a board with the old style conical V1s with a little hinge on them on the corner, and yeah, I'm not really feeling it. To fix to the PC top side. Okay, well, yeah, let me do a few, pull some things apart here, and maybe it'll just like make itself obvious. So yeah, let me get my tools out. And yeah, if any of y'all have built one of these already, feel free to coach me and shout out your or hit me with your recommendations. And I am this is these are all community efforts here, so don't hold back. If you know something I don't, fill me in. All right, I man, I got all this shit sitting here on the desk. I just I sweat like my cat coming along and kicking them all off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in the little monkey here and keep from losing anything, or at least give me a line of defense before the cat sends them to the floor. Yeah, that's I mean, there's really not much you have to do to build these things if you're just like building a 23U into it. That's kind of why I wanted to do it this way, is because I want to use parts from everybody. I want this to be the the all vendors. So I think I'm going to use like thock rings. I'm going to use Buddy's landing pads. Obviously using Des housings. And maybe sliders. I mean, I might use those sliders too, or I could even get out the old JTK sliders and be real goofy about it. But no, I got exactly the Communipad. Can use Buddy's gaskets on it. Obviously the BK Redux, even though it kind of fucked that guy because he ripped off people who kept buying their shit for a while there. But yeah, we'll see. I got options like everything else here. So first things first, I'm just going to pull this controller, pull the cable, and go ahead and install the Cip one just to get it out of the way. And set this aside because I'll probably use this again on one of my data pads here. Not immediately, but down the road. So yeah, let's just get this little guy out of here, grab these two screws. And again, yeah, this is cute too, so come on, you bastard. Alright. So yeah, a little side by side here. I mean, how complicated can it be, So yeah. super stoked. Cip's is definitely, I mean, it's, you know, if I were gonna say classy, it's a lot classier looking, but they both do the job. So yeah, I'll keep that around, and I'm gonna bust that out for another project because, man, yeah, these are tight, and that just lines, yeah, that lines right up, almost like it was made for it. So yeah, good job, Cip. Just screw that in, pop the cable in, and we'll start working on the other fun parts of this. All right. There we go. All right. So let's there we go. Plug that back in there. Let's just leave that aside for now because the main thing we need to work on is popping sliders in this guy. So I guess this fits right in like so. Which, yeah, that'll give me the 2 U's and the whole grid, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't really understand what those two... So these two have those posts which go through here, but there's really nothing to attach to them. So yeah, I'm kind of curious what that's about. I mean, I'll attach them just to kind of, you know, give me something to key and line up on, but it doesn't really seem like they actually do anything that I can tell. And again, if someone knows what they do, holler, because yeah, they don't look too terribly useful to me otherwise. And these are an even smaller freaking hex head. Jesus, dude. Alright, so yeah, that is one thing that I really appreciate about some vendors, and it seems that, you know, for whatever reason, Show chooses really tiny hardware for some of this stuff, and it's like, I mean, I guess that's what you got to do to make the parts fit where they got to go, but yeah, again, I'm a gorilla over here, so I feel like I don't want to mess something up. For the OEM PCB, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So maybe I don't even need these, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in anyways, just to use them as kind of like centering pins for the board. And so I don't, you know, lose them down the road, because I have a bad habit of sometimes doing that with parts that I don't put in. If I do need them for something later, I'd like to still have them here. Vestigial holes. That's one I love. Vestigial. That's one of those great words that, I don't know, it just seems so descriptive. There we go. Alright. Tighten those guys on there. And yeah, look at this. That is so cool. So yeah, it just passes right through there. So whatever. I'm sure it'll clear everything and it won't be a problem, but at least this way I won't lose them. Let's go ahead and start popping some slider housings in here. Now I'm going to just because I want it to be, you know, something interesting looking. I'm going to put clear ones on here, and I'll there's a reason for that, you know, in a little bit, other than just, you know, being able to look at it. But let's get started on those, because all right, so I thought I had another box of and yeah, this is my my desk collection. So I've got at least one HHKB of each of these, probably 2 that I could build out of what I got here. But I thought I had another box of these somewhere. They might be in a... Oh. Is that it? Nope. Yeah. They're around somewhere, but I'm not seeing them immediately, so I'll just work with what I got. So let's grab 3 of these. And I'm not going to use those sliders because they're not RO59'd, and I'm going to go ahead and RO59 some. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab all the all the wires out of here just in case one of them is funky. So I've done one or the other. I've not ever lubed both housing and slider, just because I feel like that would interfere and just cause drag and stickiness over like lubrication. But I have done one. I've done one or the other, and when I've done the slider housing, I basically just do the contact points with where the slider would hit them. So I'll kind of point those out here in a second, and I do those with a different lube as well. Previous to my RO59 adventures, I was using another PTFE dry lube called Finish Line, or sometimes one called Tri-Flow, and they're actually bicycle chain lubes. But again, it's a PTFE lubrication suspended in an evaporating medium. So like you spray it on, kind of let it sit for a bit, wipe it down, and then just let it dry, and it leaves behind this PTFE film. So in this case, I would go in with a brush and I would actually paint the slider contact points on the rails here in the housing. So like I would take the stuff and basically like paint here and here on that side and here on that side. And it doesn't actually touch the back, so you don't really gain anything by lubing that, but you gain by it's these two side rails inside there that it's like the edges of the slider. So yeah, let me grab a slider and so like if you look at a slider and think about it, it's not this part of the slider that's touching, it's these two kind of like the sides here and here. These run along the inside of the housing. So if you lube what those touch in the slider housing, then you gain the benefits of it. So Topper user, I am building an S23, one of Show's boards here, but I'm putting Cipulot plates and a bunch of parts from a bunch of different vendors and stuff. So I've got some plans, just kind of getting my pieces and parts together. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun one, and I'm hoping it looks kind of interesting at the end. It's definitely going to feel interesting just because I'm using extreme BKE Redux dome. So yeah, that's one thing I was curious about, how these would feel in here. They really don't have a lot of play. But just for the hell of it, and because we're doing, putting everybody in here, I think I might get out, I've got this whole stack of stuff. I'm going to get out some of those Buddy, these guys here, these little, gaskets, and I'm going to apply a few of these and see how they feel. Because I want this thing to be heavy as hell with the extreme domes, but I still also want it to be cush. So I'm going to, I might put landing pads under some things. I might do a little this and that, but I do want to start out and check out these gaskets from Buddy, because I've seen other people build with them. I've heard good things. They definitely feel different than the cheapo ones that you get online, AliExpress and such. Okay, and that's what I was wondering. They are not sticky, so I was curious if they would have any kind of like stiction to them. It's not a sticker like those other ones, so it just you just kind of lay it on there, I guess, which that's cool too. Doesn't leave behind residue, and if you do not like them and want to remove them, then you can always just like pop them out of there and not have to worry so much. So yeah, that gives it really good grip on there. So I'm definitely going to go with those on these. And I don't know if they have some 3-cut ones. I might have to cut a few, but we'll just go as we go. Yeah, so I mean, you know me, I collect things, and I'm very much a completist, so yeah, I've got a lot of the desk stuff. I actually do need to dig in here. So Thock rings, I'm debating either 0.7, or we might just go, where was it? I thought he had, okay, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7. I thought he had the thick boys. We may end up just going 0.7 if I can't find them, unless I did want to like do a combination. That would be kind of cool too. So I might do 0.7 over 0.3 or something, so I can get my full stack. But yeah, I got Buddies, silencing rings. I've got the gave me Poron. Yeah, these are the landing pads that I was thinking of using, so I might throw those in there. Oh, spacebar spacers. So he has a 1mm Poron. So we'll see. I do want to, you know, include something from everybody. But yeah, I'll puzzle on that just because with the parts that I'm using, I guess. Yeah, I guess 0.7 would work. So I may just go ahead with the 0.7 instead of the 1.0 that I was originally intending, but it'll be fun. And yeah, the entire stash. Like I love playing with the parts. I love that we have so many vendors out there. So this is kind of my, you know, my thank you to everybody. Like everyone out there has a hand in this build just by virtue of the components they make and everything else. And yeah, actually, I don't really need the spacebar ones. And second thought, just because I'm not building a HHKB yet. That's the next build. So let me just go ahead and get those out of my way so I don't confuse myself further than I am already confused. Alright, let's keep moving. Topra user, you asked, can you reprogram the Cip PCB for MacroPad? I expect so. I mean, it's got, you know, from what I know, full reprogrammability. You could make it do whatever you want and either, you know, map things to... Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I think you can do anything you want, you know. I think you can probably even map macros and stuff if you wanted to, you know, make it say things or make it, you know, trigger whatever. Like, why not? Actually, for a little while, I had my my Never 19 set up as a macro pad to you know, run things on my my OBS, and then I flashed it with something else just because I was playing around with it and forgot how I had that set up and didn't save a copy of it, and so I need to do that again. But yeah. Topper user, where did I get which the PCB? If so, currently Cip has a Discord that you join, and there's a queue that you join, and I think I joined the queue back in like late October of last year, and it took a while. So I mean, I'm not, you know, and I knew it was gonna, like, it's not like I was in a hurry, and I also kind of, I think, extended mine because I got these, like, you know, battery charging modules, so he wanted to wait until everything was together and send it all as a big batch. So I'm like, I'm not knocking anything at all, but it did take him a moment to get me my stuff. And no complaints because it's here, and I'm, you know, I know he quality, you know, QCs all of his stuff really well, so I'm looking forward to building up a bunch of stuff and resurrecting things and just getting things running again. All right, so I did want to check. It does not look like any of these are cut. So for these threes, I will have to cut those, and that's not a problem. I do have scissors. Yeah, those are definitely, that is a Cip Junt, and they're cool. So I know he talked about maybe having a vendor by the time that R3 is actually like fully a thing, but you might as well go ahead and excuse me, go ahead and jump in the queue anyways. And man, I gotta wet my whistle. All this talking makes me thirsty. Yeah, and I mean, I love Topre boards, like a fully programmable Topre macro pad, super cool. So like, why not? I mean, that's all this stuff is programmable. I'm looking forward to like doing like, you know, second and third and fourth layers and like trying to really play around with, you know, my stuff and make them do weird things. And yeah, it's I love the hybrid and I love the programmability that's there, and like, but these are pretty cool. And the fact that it's a complete replacement PCB, so I mean, you can play around with like the layout of the domes, you can play around with all sorts of stuff. It's, you know, yeah. Kudos, Cip. Thank you for your contribution, because this shit is rad. Alright, so right now, so far, I've only touched, what, 3 vendors' parts? So we got Des, we got, obviously, Show, and then, 4 vendors' parts. And then, you know, we got Buddy's gaskets, and obviously Cip's board. So let's see. We'll have to see how many more people we can get into this, because this is gonna be fun. I think I even have something I bought off a drop, so we'll we'll put Corsair in the mix for all of our fancy keyboard vendor contributions here. Which, man, that's some news. So yeah, that was one thing we discussed at the last Austin meetup was, now that Corsair owns Drop, what happens, obviously not just to the keyboard stuff we all know and love, but I mean, they do audio, they do, everyday carry, pocket knives, flashlights, weirdo this and that. Like, does Corsair want to be in that business at all? Is this only the keyboards? Like, is home audio gear, does that even matter to them? Like, yeah, I don't even know. No, not this one, just because I build so many Norbauer boards as it is. I feel like if I ended up, it's, when you build a Norbauer board, it's a Norbauer board. So yeah, it was the decision between the something Norbauer and something Show, and with the plate and stuff, this gives me the actual layout that I want. I kind of prefer the multiple 2Us and, like, the big plus key and all that stuff to the the tiny, the double 0 and all that stuff. So I think it's, from my preference, I think this will be a more fun board to hammer on than the data pads. So I do absolutely love the data pads, and I have my, when I'm, I don't know, calculating in heaven or whatever, I've got a 30-gram Veracity steel, data pad built up that is pretty sweet. It feels good, and it's fun to type on also. So I got one, but this was something different. All right, and I fucked that one up and caught the gasket. I was wondering why it was so hard to push in, but yeah, that'll definitely get you if you're not careful. So, oops. All right, I think that'll do it. I have to be careful not to push on any of the other ones and pop them out as I'm popping things in, but I think we got everything popped in, with the exception of those last two. So I guess this is where one of these little ones come in handy that I cut. I guess it doesn't really matter which way it goes, as long as all four sides are covered. Yeah, alright. Oh, god dang it. Yeah, so that's why I need to remember not to push directly down on the table like that, because then I will pop the other ones out, I feel like. Okay, now that's everything. Alright, so we're good on that. And then just the last 2U. Yeah, I mean, other than the housings, I guess I could have, if I had one of his keycap sets, I could have used those, but I've already got another keycap set in mind, and I got a couple other things, so it's not like I haven't built a Norbauer board, or even, streamed the build of a Norbauer board. So he's gotten his. Out of me, at least. Alright, so yeah. So that's cute. I like the brass with the clear. And yeah, everything looks level and looks fully popped in. And with the with that gasket on there, these feel pretty tight. I am wondering if the gasket's going to cause any. Oh, and there, I did it again. Yeah, I caught just the edge of that one, the 2U. So I need to be careful with that, and I'm wondering what will, if these will cause any kind of binding problems. So yeah, and it's gonna, I figure because it's PC, the clear will look cool in that. Plus, I've got a few other things. It's gonna have white domes in there and kind of the cream sliders. So we're just kind of going with those light colors like that. Yeah, it'll look neat, I think. So let me get the crap I don't need off of here. And then we can go ahead and kind of screw this in and start putting sliders in. And then yeah, figure out this Cip board situation, because that's what I'm really excited to check out here. All right. So I need to pull these out of here. Oh, and again they use a different size. So that is 1, 2, 3, and this will be the 4th bit I'm pulling to take this thing apart. Oh gosh, was that on the snipe? No, I didn't have problems on the snipe. I think that was on. I feel like that was on the maybe the S60 that I built, or did I have problems? You know what? Maybe I did have problems, and I pulled them off, and I don't really remember. As often happens to me, but yeah, that's if this does end up being a problem, then these are pretty easy to pop off and remove. But I might, before going too far, think about inserting a few of these and seeing how they feel. So let's go ahead and do that. Since you mentioned it, Topper user, I like the way you think. Let's go there and maybe save myself a little time, at least a little heartache. All right, so if I remember to put them in the right way. Ooh, yeah, that's some bind. You are right. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna ditch those. Yep. Yeah, no, you're entirely right. All right, so when I remove that, no binding issue. Yeah. So let's well, that's a bummer. Let me pull that off of there. Pop that back in. And it goes away. So if you recall, was that an issue on the 1Us as well, or was that just an issue with the 2Us? Because that is, I mean, yeah, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference as far, okay, just on the 2Us, and I think I'll leave them on the 1Us then, because I just really don't want to bother, as well as, I like the cush, I like the idea behind them. I mean, I do know that, sometimes death stuff runs a little snug, so I'm not too super surprised, but yeah, let's just leave them. Alright. So we have everything popped in. Are those sitting? Yeah, those are sitting right. Okay, cool. Doesn't look too bad. You can obviously see the black ring around the rest of those, but from here you can't see shit. Yeah, exact. No, yeah, that's right. Tolerances and interference and all those other fun things that occasionally cause us grief. Yeah, I'm just gonna put those back in the bag, and maybe we can use those on some stock slider housings down the road, because they didn't get chewed up too bad. I feel like they're still worthwhile. And that is another nice thing about them not being sticky, is you can just remove them and save them for another day. So yeah, let's just gonna leave this upside down and try not to scratch anything while we do this here in a second. But let's start with the 1U sliders. Just pop these in. And again, I'm using rings. So I was debating, the 1U was originally what I wanted, but I guess Stock Rings doesn't have 1U. He's got 0.7, and I think 0.7 will do well enough. So let's just throw some Stock Rings on there. Cause yeah, those are nice and thick. They got some heft to them. I like that. Yeah, I appreciate that. So good job, buddy. I'm glad your stuff isn't sticky. And I know people, there's the debate, shiny side up, shiny side down. What do I do? I really don't think it matters. I'm doing shiny side down on these. Some people complain about that and say it should be shiny side up. I've built both ways. I don't know. if you do have definitive proof that one way is better than the other, you know, share it. I'd love to hear it. But from my experience, I've not really, you know, I don't feel like one. You're trying to set up. So that's the thing, yeah. It's like people have a way they do it. It's like same thing with my 1U sliders. Like I try to align them a certain way every time. Does it matter which way the notch and the little tab goes? No, of course it doesn't. It really makes absolutely zero difference. But just because my brain has to, be repetitive, it's like I want them all to point the same way. Okay, pour on side to hit the housing. So that would be up, or whichever. Yeah, okay. Now that makes sense. So I'm Team Neko. I like the pour on side hitting the housing as well. But like, different strokes for different folks. Maybe there is like a minute difference involved, and so like our boards are just that slightly different, and I appreciate that because I like the variety. Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day you can do it either way, and it really 99.5% doesn't matter. I've not really had them like become like sticky or bind or even with like the RO59 and stuff, just because it's cured and dry, it doesn't seem like that like comes off on them or causes any kind of stiction issues there. So I don't think it matters. Yeah, how does the... Yeah, I guess, what is stock? Stock is shiny side up? Yeah, so, and they do it a certain way, but it's like, I don't know, for whatever reason, just something in my brain was like, this just doesn't look right, and I went with shiny side down, so, the pour-on side hitting the plate, or the housing, sorry. But yeah, really at the end of the day, what does it matter? So like it's been kind of fun following the tab spaces. Yeah, exactly. That's those are those wars we wage. Thankfully they're relatively bloodless. Like I've not I don't like feel the need to do battle over which way I want my things to go or wave a flag or something. I mean, I don't know. That's we've got some like bike crews in our town that whenever they ride around as a group, they always have these big flags on their rides, and I'm like, I don't know. There's just that always gives me some weird like colonizer conquistador like really, bro, your bike ride needs like a giant freaking like the size of like American flag advertising your bike ride. I mean, I guess that's what it is, free advertising. Flags are just free advertising, but I don't know. There's just something about like that whole flag waving X, Y, or Z person, this and that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Just seems like a bit much. So, oh shoot, what's up, Cip? Good morning, or late night, I guess, since you haven't gone to sleep yet. But yeah, early. What's up? So I'm building the first of your boards that I've had the pleasure of putting together, doing the 23, and I'm trying to put as many different vendors' parts in this that I have as I can. And I'm drawing the line at I could have grabbed my JTK sliders and put those in, but it really doesn't fit the motif and the all that of my colors and things, so I'm skipping the JTK. But otherwise, yeah, I got your stuff, show stuff, desk stuff, Thok rings, Buddy's stuff. I got a keycap set I bought off a drop. The only thing OEM is the springs, because there's just no replacement for OEM springs, as much as I appreciate people's attempts. Oh yeah, Doggo, that's my boy. And actually, I don't even know why I'm putting a ring on that one, because I think we got all of the 1Us. So, Fred, come here. Come on. Yeah, this is Fred. Oh, you're about to... Here you go. This is my buddy. He's my old dog. I think he's probably about, shoot, is he 10 now? 9 or 10. But yeah, he's a good guy. A little nervous sometimes, so. But yeah, he's rad. Love that guy. And his name isn't actually Fred, it's Friedrich Wilhelm Mercury Douglas, I think is what I went with. Because as a puppy, he was just a mess, and I don't know. Figured WMD for his initials seemed apropos, but nowadays he's just afraid of any loud noise. So I think I was kind of cursing him to a life of having to cower from noisy things. Huh. Alright, well that one, maybe I don't have it fully popped in, because that one's still dragging even without the... Why is that doing that? I don't like that. Yeah, so I should have just shown you guys before I popped it out, but I noticed that my my slider... Oh, let me try a different one. My slider was dragging on it, so let me... Okay, that one feels good. That one feels good. Try it out. That one feels good. Okay, so maybe it's actually the slider, not the housing. So let me pop it back in, see if it gives me the same binding issue. File the inside of the hole. Okay, yeah, perhaps. Let me try this again. Oh man, yeah, it's so that's still binding. All right. I'm trying to think where I have a better file to do this than the one that I have nearby. Fred, what are you doing, bro? My dog's like scratching his back under the table and making the worst noises. So, give me just a second. Let me see if I have a better file than the Norbauer one. And yeah, I might go about doing that. Let me see if with the ring these are giving me any problems in the others. So, yeah, that one's just fine. That one's just fine. Okay, so yeah, it is just this one. And I'm trying to figure out what way it's binding, because it almost feels like it's gripping from like... Is it gripping from the sides or no? Okay. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I feel like it's the tabs getting in the way. So yeah. I decided I'm just going to do a thing here, because do you really need these to stay in? No, hell no they don't. So let me just carve off, because I think when I popped it in, it smashed them, and so they are what's causing the interference rather than the plate. So fuck that shit. We're going to try a thing. Alright. So I did that. I actually do have these crappy little lightweight file boards, but I think that'll be... these are all too low. I was hoping something I could just remove a little bit of that. It's not bad. There we go. Okay, so just doing a little thing. Just trying to clean those up a little bit so that maybe when I pop these back in, it won't give me hell. All right. Usually the hole is too tight, the housing is compressed just a little bit to cause the internal tolerances go fuck themselves. Yeah, that is definitely what's going on this one. The internal tolerances are giving the big fuck you. Alright, so that fits in a lot better. And let's see, when I drop this guy in now. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so it was entirely the compression being caused by the clips being sheared off from the first time that I popped it in. So I'm not going to file shit. I'm calling that good. So let's get these bars lubed up. Get those put together, and then I think we can start putting domes in. Am I doing that right? Yeah, okay. Alright. Cool. So, got a couple of these guys. Oh yeah, I guess one more thing from Buddy going to this board. He sent me this 206 G2, which I'm actually liking a lot better than the 205 I've been using for doing specifically rattly stabs. So that's not so bad. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of a injection with lube on each side here. And then obviously add the bit. Alright, so, and I don't know, am I doing this on camera? Oops. Yeah, I messed that one up. So let me get the brush and clean that up. So I found it's easy to just get it in there and then use a brush and push it in, clean it up, do whatever you need to kind of remove any excess there, and just wipe it off on a paper towel or something. And yeah, and then from there you just kind of slide your wire on in there. I know a lot of you guys have done this a million times, but sometimes it helps just to use a little tool to pop it in there. And I'm going to get the other ones done just that basic level, and then from there I'm going to push on them a little bit, see how they feel, and if we need to add more lube, we can always add more lube. Sorry if I'm getting in the way of my camera here. I'm not watching the screen, but my big bald reflective head can sometimes do that. There we go. And one thing I do like about these pre-drilled desk housings is that when you're doing this kind of stuff and you need a little more lube down the road or something, the open tops make it really easy to kind of get in there and add just a little bit more if you're using a syringe. So opportunities to take care of additional lubing without having to take a board apart is always appreciated. All right. There we go. So those are popped in. You can see the lube in there is looking pretty good and holding tough. I think that'll be good for now. And like I was saying, if I do need to add more, I can just kind of go right through there and make it real easy on myself. Yeah, I know, Shiwa. I know this is not your thing. But it's also not your S23. So I like the lube. I like the quiet. In fact, here, just for you, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit extra. There's Shiwa's portion right there. Because really, it helps, and I think with these heavy ass domes that I'm putting in here, these things are gonna slam. So I might be able to go a little heavier on the lube than I normally would. Just because, yeah, these things are going to knock when it's all put together. These are not light domes. Now, I say that, but I just used Colt's real force board that was built with extremes, and dude, he had that thing tuned so well. It was such a good sounding board. Spacebar sounded good. Like, it had zero rattle. Like, he really made that thing nicely. So I don't know, I'm talking all this shit, but really it's, you can make those things quiet. Alright, so I think that'll do it. Yeah. Alright. So these things, I've actually not used these before, and I don't even know if they're really necessary. I guess, do they go... What side of the dome do they go on? Do they go above or beneath the dome? I honestly don't know. So let's I'm gonna cruise on over to the website that will not be named on a Conical, but unrealkeyboards.com, and just take a look at how he illustrates these, if he shows them off. So let's see, aftermarket. Alright, so he shows them how they're put on, but it doesn't really show if it's above or below the dome. I'm assuming it goes... Yeah, I don't know. We're just going with it. I think it looks good like this, so fuck it. And we're doing shiny side towards the board, just for fun. Alright, like so. And where did I put... Shit, did I drop the keyboard ones? Dang it! I think I, Yes, I did. Awesome. At least they were easy to find. Oh yeah, sorry, Shiwai. I'm just kind of prattling on, but yeah, it's not everyone has done this a million times. But I feel like, I mean, you know, with Topre, for better or for worse, there's only so many things you can do. And I really don't want these streams to just get repetitive. And it's like, oh wow, we're watching Jason's, you know, 50th stream of building the same freaking keyboard. Like, I want to try to, you know, play around with things, try stuff out, see how it feels. So yeah, we're going maximum modding on this one. And on the topic of maximum modding, before I get too far, I think I am going to go ahead and flip this over. I should probably put it on some standoffs of some sort so that I'm not like pressing it into something. There we go. We don't need any more of those. We will need these. Yeah, I think these will do the trick for now. Yeah, look at that, look at that. Beautiful. Alright. Let's just drop that in there and knock everything askew. Let's just screw those in to make it easy on myself so that I don't knock it around later. And yeah, if I really wanted to go wacky with it, I could like burger mount these, or I don't know, I guess do something like even more ridiculous. But I feel like with the 90 gram or whatever the heck they are, the domes, like maybe a stable connection is probably a better thing overall. Alright, well, I'm glad you say that. I appreciate you guys, because yeah, I mean, I don't know, when 90% of what you build is an HHKB, it's like, man, are those... So, okay, there they go. felt like for a second they were bottoming it out before hitting, but that's... Man, yeah, that is the one thing I don't prefer about the show PC stuff, is when you're screwing them in, you're screwing in directly into PC, and so it's like, I sometimes I worry, and yeah, I went crooked on that, so I'm gonna need to adjust these slightly. And yeah, it's like, you know, with some of this kind of stuff, you only want to do this a certain number of times, because eventually you'll start wearing it out, and like I don't want to mess my nice fancy boards up, especially when, you know, the makers have put so much time and thought into them. Like, I like to keep these things around for a while, so just gotta be careful with it. All right. I feel like that's also why I like using manual screwdrivers versus those electric ones. I know they got clutch and all that kind of stuff on them, but like I feel like I can kind of find that right point just by touch better than electric. And yeah, this is interesting. All right. Sorry, I was saying interesting. I was just looking at this like slight gap along the top, which when it's assembled you won't see, but when you look that way, it's kind of got that cut, and I'm wondering what that's for. Because I guess the initial plate, it's got this cut out of the top because it's got a bend in it or something, if I recall. But yeah, I don't know. What up, Landless? Who the fuck are you? What is this shit? Okay. Is it possible to delete posts? I don't know shit about stream chat. Can I? Yeah, I don't even know. Nope, yeah, don't know shit about that. Oh well. Yeah, dude, I got something you can promote. Dangling. Alright. Let's get back to this. And yeah, extreme. So I've had these domes in 3 different boards, a pair of HHKBs, and what else did I have them in? I think it was like in just an 87U. They were interesting. They were fun to type on, but there was no earthly way I could daily them. So after a few weeks, they got pulled and swapped for other stuff, typically other lighter stuff. But I want something with extremes in, just so I can, show them off and do the thing. And so they're going in this one. This is the one. This is going to be my tax board. Taxes are painful enough already. Why not make them a little bit more painful with extreme domes? And I just think they'll look nice in the, with the clear housings and with the, just everything else. I feel like this all kind of suits itself. So yeah, I guess the thing I'm curious about, like, that adds stack. So do they go like that? Or do they go like this? I'm assuming they go the other way. I'm assuming they go like so. That just seems more correct to me. I think it's like 90 or something. What is it? Key clack? BKE1 extremes are 90 gram bottom out. So they got some weight on them. And if I really wanted to go crazy with them, I could always start adding those extra like NIS or DES like top springs and take them to a cool 100. But I feel like the 90 will be enough for me in this application. Like, Yeah, some of these aren't sitting in there right, and I'm wondering. There's not anything getting in the way. Okay. Yeah, that's why you know, I only do my taxes once a year. I try not to experience that kind of pain too often. So similarly, like this will be my, you know, bust it out every so often to really torture myself bored, but I don't think it's gonna sit on my desk all the time. Unless maybe I bring it to work just to like, you know, fuck with the new guys or whatever the hell. Alright. Okay, so that all fits in there all right, even though it's definitely a little cocked, but we'll get the springs and things together and then worry about, you know, straightening each of these individual 1U domes up. And really, once it's all screwed together, how bad can it be? Alright. The main thing I'm just trying to make sure is that none of them overlap, because that is one thing that could cause issues, is if, like, the rubber is stacked on top of another one and then compressed. Alright, maybe I'll try a launch test once I've got this thing together. So remember that thought. I may not, but I am fully down for you know, science. You know, I'm always up for doing something scientific with y'all. Okay. Oh, the most fun part of the stream, always, is uncoiling the springs. Like, who doesn't? Oh, jeez. All right. Who doesn't love sitting here, you know, individually removing one spring from however many other springs it's attached to? Like, that's the best part. Yeah, launch test. No, we're gonna do it. I don't know if I have a pencil or a pen around. Yeah, we'll figure out something launch appropriate, guys. Don't worry. And actually, with only 23 keys on this, I might be able to, just by being, you know, judicious here, actually pick enough springs that aren't tangled to just knock this one out. I think the 60 that I want to do later is going to be the tricky one. Alright, where am I looking here? Cool, alright. Yeah, extremes are fun, and I love that there are people out there who want to daily extremes, and I hope that someday I am as strong as them, because that shit tears me up. Like, my carry board is 35 gram carats. My, you know, the board that's been sitting on my desk for the last 2 weeks has been this, you know, the TCTF 10-cent board that Bogus hooked me up with, which has 30 gram domes. So I mean, I am a lightweight dome enjoyer primarily. I like heavier domes. Like, I put 55 in a board recently. Like, I've got green V1 and another board, so it's like you know what? I'm glad I dropped those in there, because on looking at that, these are stacked springs. So let's see if I can either pop these apart or I'll just go fishing for another one. Come on, you bastards! Oh! It's so close. There's like the corner of one stuck to the other one. Sheesh. Alright, so close, so close. Okay, fine. So I didn't get them all. I'm having to turn one spring, but if I only had to disassemble one spring, I don't feel too terrible about that. And yeah, you got to do the, you know, check out my bald head while I look down and make sure that all the springs are only individuals, and I think we're good there. So, yeah, I've like using like heavier gauge like wire. Yeah, that definitely works. I like that that technique. All right, so that drops right down on there. Is this okay? So there's a hole in the board here. It looks like, does something interfere, or is that just my shit in the way? That is one thing that's kind of tricky, is lifting this out of there. Oh yeah, so I guess because of how the 2U housing is built, it actually looks like there's a hole right there, which would work if you were using multiple 1Us over here, but I guess because it's the 2U, that hole will not be able to be hit without modifying the slider housing. So I think we might live without one screw. Alright. Otherwise, I think it looks like everything lines up. So yeah, let's put that together real quick, get it plugged in, and then we can see what happens. Sweet. Man, yeah, this one's just breezing along. Okay. Appreciate you, Cip. Yeah, I'm just going to skip that one. Alright. And it looks like these are all just the same screws, so... Okay. And that really does not grab much. Less than I thought it was going to. So I'm wondering, do I need longer? Maybe it grabs. I just really want to be careful not to... Yeah, because like that doesn't... Those don't thread in very deeply. Which I don't think is going to be a problem. I think it's going to hold together just fine. It's just something to be aware of, that like there's not a lot holding it on. So if you go too hard and strip that, like it could be easy. There's not a lot of thread interface, I don't feel like, on these. All right. And yeah, I just noticed that there's no ground wire for these, even though it looks like it has a spot on the PCB. So I'm wondering if I should ground these off to anything, or if I could just let them ride. Oh, the finish? Yeah. Okay. Oh shit! Come back. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. Alright, well... I still feel like this will work, so I'm not feeling too terrible about it, but that's yeah, it's not as confidence inspiring as I would like it to be. And I really don't want to go any farther on these and like cause problems, so yeah, we'll live with this. It's not the worst. And we are almost done. It looks like there's only 2 more, and then we can plug it in, put the back on. And then get to the caps. But yeah, I gotta say, once Densis's parts are out, maybe I should throw some of their stuff in here just to like make it a complete set. But really, this has stuff from just about everybody. And yeah, maybe I should have plugged that in before everything else, but okay, which way am I supposed to go with this? Okay. Yeah, I did that in opposite order. I probably should have plugged it into the board first. But, you know, whatever, man. If it fits, it fits. There we go. Alright, just my big... Oh, dang. And I pushed one of the... looks like I pushed one of the pins out. So let me grab a tweezer and fix that. Yeah, I was reading that show's calling it on PC. So I wonder, is just too much of a pain in the ass or what? Like, what's the reason for that? Because that's a bummer. I really like I didn't as much care for the S60 that he did, but like the Snipe PC was amazing. The Okay, yeah, so that's everything inside. So I can go ahead and button this up. Um, yeah, did he give any kind of like reasons as to why he was cutting back on PC? Okay, thank you, Cip. I didn't. Yeah, it feels really weird when screwing it in. Like, and looking from the other side, there's like this white material that is kind of like expressing through the the backside of the hole. So yeah, I don't feel I'm not super keen on that. Um, but whatever. It assembled. And yeah, maybe I should have done a key test and everything before fully buttoning this up, but I again I don't really care. All right, how did this not fit right? Yeah, I do question some of the choice of hardware for this stuff because for whatever reason it just doesn't seem like my tools are really mating up properly. And I thought these were, yeah, that's a 1.5 and it's definitely not a 2 because that's this. So what the heck? Yeah, maybe my tool is just wearing down. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that interfaces as nicely as I want it to. Yeah, the screws completely suck that he's using. I'm sorry, Show, if you watch this, I love your design. I hate your screws, man. These are crummy. And I worry that like, yeah, I worry how many times I'm going to be able to put this stuff together. Because like this is first assembly and some things are already kind of slipping a little bit. All right. Ooh, yeah. Those are poppy. Damn, those are heavy. All right. So what I was thinking for keycaps, and that's kind of, yeah, I guess just because the brass, you can't really see into them as much as I was hoping you could. I was hoping you could see more of the dome, but it does kind of like, the brass covers that up, but it's still kind of cool. Those things are, dang, the return on those is so heavy. Like, that shit's gonna like punch my fingers. These are awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be like, this is my adding machine. Choo, 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 choo. This is great. Yeah, those are cool. So caps. I had some caps around here that I wanted to use. If I can find them. I know I pulled them out, but I don't know where the heck I put them. So give me just one moment. I'm gonna go take a look real quick. Found them, and these are not the greatest caps. I did pick these up off a Drop, but I figure, throw one more vendor in it because love them or hate them, Drop has definitely improved the Topre world. They've sold keycaps that no one else has been able to get. They've early released a bunch of parts. Like they've definitely like done their part to spread the Topre love. I feel like some of those early like Real Force group buys and shit were tight. But yeah, I was looking at these clear caps, thinking, on this board, like, I want to be able to read them, but I don't necessarily, I still want to be able to, I don't know. I think the clear will be cool. So we're going with it. I don't remember what goes where, so let's see if we can figure this out. I feel like it's enter in the bottom and a plus above that. And then I don't even know where to go from here. What yeah, so that's what I was looking. So I think that'll look cool on this keyboard once it's all built up. Those keys. So let's maybe I should actually grab a real numpad and figure out what the heck is supposed to go where. Give me just a second, one more, and I will be right back. Thank you, Neko. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a numpad user, so I oftentimes I don't really know what goes where. But I do have a numpad that I like very much, so I figured I'd bring out for my example numpad. It might as well, get the pretty boy out. So that can remind me what goes where. And man, I love that thing. Like, look at that shit. Now that's a numpad. That is a weapon of a numpad. Like, I'm just imagining, frickin' what's his face, Patrick Bateman, doing blow off the forehead of this thing, and then chasing somebody down a hallway with a chainsaw. Yeah, that's a nice numpad. I spent way too much on it. I don't regret it one bit because that thing is so freaking sick. There is not another numpad like that. So I love the hell out of it. All right, so plus. So what'd you say? So you said divide, multiply, minus. All right, so divide. Go on, you bastard. There you go. Okay, divide, multiply. Minus. Okay. Damn, those are dope. Numlock. And then, what is it? 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with something. They've got some wacky keys in here, so I'm not oh yeah, new tool. So if you recall last stream, I broke my fancy Dave K screwdriver puller. He made me a new one because he is just such a bad dude. Like, I told him, it's like, man, I totally gorilla gripped that thing and busted it. So he sent me a new one. And not only that, but because of my, big, meaty hands that are just destroying things left and right, he sent me this, which is like a supersized one with a thicker wire, so I can do some damage with this. And yeah, sorry guys, these are the drop keysterine caps. So yeah, Neko, you got it right on that one. All right, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3. And then big 0 and the period, and then top row. And then this thing will be done, which is exciting to me. Because, man, yeah, I like this. Alright. Dots. What the hell? How did that happen? Okay. That's a problem that I might have to take something apart. Look at that. That one just got stuck down. Did I forget to put something in that one? Yo, what just happened? Oh. How the hell did I do that? Y'all. Alright, biggest build botch I have done in I don't even know how long. Yeah, right? At least there's only a few screws. Wow, how did I miss that? I guess when I was putting these 2U's in down here, I totally like... Sweet. Y'all, that was a good one. I missed a dome and a spring. Alright, that one, that's one for the books, y'all. I can't believe I did that. Okay, so... Shift, backspace, tab, escape is what would go up here normally. But I need to make something up. But yeah, let's Man, that's funny as hell. Alright, let me get this crap out of the way. Let me pull this open again. Let me get the dome and stuff that I need, and geez, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, I really don't like these screws. I may have to see if I can find something else that's spec'd similarly that doesn't suck as much. Cause yeah, I don't like those. Like I can't even torque these things in at all because I feel like they'll slip. Like they don't grab well. 3 springs. That is yeah, that's a good one. I probably should have been a smart guy about this and counted. Like, yeah, my worry now is that these grabbed so little when I put them in. Like, I don't want to lose a single thread on these screws that are holding the plate in. Yeah, we'll see. Let's just try to be real genteel here, y'all. Yeah, and like, oh man, it really is not grabbing. Like it's... I wonder... I'm gonna go look at my S23 screw stash and see if maybe I've got something that will work better, because I'm just not liking the engagement on these. Yeah, that is like just the faintest hair of engagement. Nice, Topre user, you're building a heavy grill. Man, I'm loving this. I love that like we got a couple people working on Topre projects right now. I feel like we're all in this together. So yeah, y'all, what throwing domes, build it. Yeah, I do the same thing, and like for some of this stuff, like I worry that I'm causing problems with the screws, because like yeah, these just do not engage much at all. These are kind of really crappy. I don't like it. I just don't like it. All right, come on. Like, they don't even pop up enough that I can grab them. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm ready to face my shame, y'all. Let's look at this. Oh, there it is. Look at that, y'all. I completely missed it. I missed everything in that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's one I've not done that before. I've not completely forgotten a dome. That's freaking hilarious. Okay. Yep. Alright. Much better. Yeah, I should have counted, seen if I could have counted to 23. I would have gotten to 22, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong? I mean, I'm sure I would have spotted it before then, but... Yeah, okay. Alignment looks okay. Doesn't look like there's really anything causing any kind of interference or anything. All the domes are in place this time, so let's pop that down. And I'm just going to run off to the other room real quick and take a look at my screw stash, because I don't like these at all, and I'm going to see if I can find something else. If I can, I'm going to work with them, but yeah, they just don't feel right. I'll be right back. So yeah, I got the S60 box, so I got all my extra plates, this and that, the stuff for the, you know, I got the PC, and then I got a black one, and I got all these screws. So I'm going to look at these black screws and hope and pray that they are the same pitch and slightly longer, but unfortunately it looks like they're the exact same length. They do look like the same pitch. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna try to drive one of these home and see how it feels. I might be making a mistake. Yeah, they. All right, so that is the right pitch. And yeah, they're the same length. Damn. Okay. All right. I just wanted to check to see if they were the same screws. Dang it, show. All right. So I'm just gonna, you know, kind of give it as much pressure as I can to get them as cinched up as I can before screwing these in. But yeah, I'm not fully disappointed, but I'm not, you know, I don't think these are great. In fact, yeah, these aren't even, there we go. All right. I just want to get these lining up correct, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like them. They feel like they're just so close to stripping. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, this will hold, but it's like not even like two threads grabbing. So yeah, I feel like there's a fastenal near me. There's a couple other, like, you know, bolt and screw places. Like, I'm sure I can get these typed and find something just that little bit, you know, so I can get another turn or two out of them. Because it's not like they're poking through on the other side. In fact, they're like slightly buried beneath the plane of the plate. So I think it would probably be good to get something just a hair longer. Alright, I think we are 2 screws away. Yeah. And they're all holding. Like, they're, you know, none of them is stripped. They're all holding. So I don't feel like it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. I just think that it could have been a little better. Yeah, that's all right. I don't want to go any harder on these. I'm just making sure that they're all holding well. And yeah, I think that's it. So cool. I still need to. Oh yeah. Now that we fixed that one, I can actually add the cap. I need to come up with a top row. So normally that's escape, tab, backspace, shift. They do have some like top row 1U stuff, so I mean I could probably throw some shit, but they've got these cutie ones too, so like maybe I'll put, you know, a funny face guy in here somewhere. That'll be my, or no, I could just use the regular escape. And they've got an F13 key, which is cute, so maybe I'll throw some of those on there, but kitty, go on. Kitty, go on. Sorry, my cat's messing with my gear over here. I've got like Topre Mountain. She's trying to climb it. Alright, so I can slap an escape on there. I could do F1, 2, 3, 4. So I can get the escape. I don't think there's like a backspace or anything like that from the top row. Got like the pause and break and page up and page down and insert. Yeah, that's unfortunately my delete is going to be the next profile. Oh wait, is that a? Ooh, that is the right profile. Okay, so well, I guess that's not really what I need. Yeah, I'm laboring over this too hard. Like, does it really freaking matter? Alright, why am I just struggling? Okay, we'll just throw some things on. Or here. Put the F13 on and the tilde. Because it doesn't matter. There we go. I'll have to find some other caps for that, but maybe I'll just throw some like really goofy artisans on there since I'll never use the board and I hate artisans. But yeah, that is the most probably wacky little build I've ever done. So between oh, and I should probably put the back plate. Oh, that cap doesn't even hold on there. You know, man, for all the caps that are tight as hell on these are, yeah, that one's just falling off. These are super loose. All right, well, the keystring caps suck. FYI, guys. Keystring caps look cool. No bueno. In fact, here, let's see. Yeah, there you go. Launch test. Launch challenge. Let's, all right, let's see how high we can send. Here, let me get this centered. Let's see how high we can send a Dave K screwdriver. All right. Oh, man, that one didn't even launch? Come on. What? Is this just too heavy? Yeah, I guess. All right, that's too heavy. Let's X-Acto knife launch. We're getting dangerous. Nope, damn, no launch. All right, well, it's not as thrilling as I was really hoping it would be. I'm sorry, guys. Big pen? Nah, it's not a big pen. Let's see, what do we got over here? We got spaceship launch. Damn it. Yeah. All right, that is 90 grams is not as much thrust as I was hoping it would be, guys. I feel like we're not really going to send much. Quarter. Yeah, no, I think the keycap is about as good as it's going to get. Yep. Alright, well, screw these keystring caps. I'm totally not feeling that action right there. So they may not be long for this keyboard, but I've got plenty of other caps I could probably use instead. Oh, what the hell? All right, well that one will stay on there for now at least. I can turn it upside down. That's cool. Not. That sucks. Yeah, these caps are sort of crummy. I'm glad I didn't pay a lot for them. But I now have an extreme, I can do my taxes and hate myself keyboard. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like I just lost my, the one bit that I have that works with these stupid screws. Unless it's like buried under something else. Oh, no, I did not. Alright, cool. Yeah, man, Sorry, show. I know I've talked a little bit of shit today, but I hate these screws. Yeah, that key was definitely launching. Like 90 grams of thrust was sending it just a little bit. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to I don't know, find a sturdier tool for these things, because this just is not feeling it. Hey, take care, Neko. Yeah, glad you could join. Yeah, there's just... Yeah, this back plate, like, does not want to hold on as well as I want it to. And if I go any tighter with these, I'm going to strip something, so... Yeah, it's got a little bit of slip right there, so I'm going to try to find a different solution for those. I really don't like that. But we did a build... Ooh. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that either. And that's on the downstroke. Is that contact? Yeah, that's the keycap, so... I wonder if something in there is interfering as well. Yeah, this is a... Alright, this is a scuffed build. I'm going to go ahead and type on it a little bit, just for fun. How much was the PCB for the Classic? I'm really not sure. I feel like... Shoot, yeah, honestly, I don't remember. It might be listed on Cip's Discord, but... I'm going to go ahead and pause the horror core here, and just do a little typing test, because... I did a build. I might as well type on it. I'll admit I'm not as loving this one as I was hoping to. A lot of that has to do with this fitment. Like, again, it's just, you know, there's something like that slips. That should not slip. And that's with them tightened down to the point that if I tighten them anymore, they will strip. So that's yeah, I don't care for that. Like, I could probably kind of tape mod or do something to, like, give it a little bit more thickness, but... Alright. And, of course, my freaking AC kicked on. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, I was trying to eliminate some of the background noises, but my AC is funky, so we'll see if it stops or not. But here we go. Jesus. Yeah, so this is with number 7 rings. Yeah, man, once again, I'm not super feeling the extremes. I think, you know, for a tax board, it might be alright. I'm definitely going to put different caps on there, because these keystring caps are just pieces of crap. Like, I hate these things. Yeah, I'm not digging that one bit. Oh well, you know what? Not every build is amazing. Yeah, these keycaps, I mean, I thought it would be, you know, a cool idea. But man, yeah, not it. These ain't it. Yeah, it's definitely a deep set, like, especially along the top row. Yeah, snow blanks would be cool. I think the problem would be these vertical keys, because I don't think they make snow blanks with these keys specifically. But yeah, I've got other, like, you know, white on black. I've got, I don't know, I've got other sets. I think I may actually even, if I, you know, if I can memorize a numpad, I could even go with blank caps. I've got some palm caps that would probably work with this. So yeah, I've got a few things that I could probably try. But first and foremost, I want to fix this, because, like, that should not slide. That is frustrating. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right. I'm not entirely mad at the look, though. You know, these caps suck. This one looks like it's slightly crooked. Yeah, that might not be the only one. Yeah, man, keystring caps. All right, well, keystring caps are getting the thumbs down for me. That's my honest 30-second review of those. Not feeling them. But yeah, that was a cool little build. Got a few things I need to fix, but yeah, we'll get with it. I'm happy there. All right. So I could just wrap up at that point, or you know what? I've got another build I can do. And heck, it looks like there's still a handful of y'all cruising along and watching. So let's just do another quick build. And I feel like this one's gonna be really quick. I'm not going too overboard with this. What I'm going to try to do is try to build the best OEM of the same style classic board as I can build. So yeah, I've got this the EC3 controller with the EC Pro X board. I think I've got an old classic. Here it is. Yep, I've got an old classic, professional classic here that I bought, and then harvested for one of my many heavy grail builds. So I think we're gonna try to bring this one back to life, and I'm gonna build it as if it were a classic. So it's getting unsilenced OEM sliders, you know, OEM caps, springs, 45-gram domes, but I'm gonna try to make it better. So I will be lubing the stabs. For the sliders, they will be RO59'd. For the 45-gram domes, they will be domes out of a 2012 45-gram. Is that my camera or my light going off? I don't know what's going on, but I keep seeing my picture that the color is slightly changing. That's weird. Maybe my camera's just acting funky. But yeah, so we're gonna do some various stuff with this guy. Try to make it as awesome as we can. But yeah, 2012 dome, so they're, you know, not super old, but still 11 years old. They're not the, you know, they got a little bit more pop to them, and just make it a really good feeling classic. But the crowning feature is going to be this guy right here. And I just realized I didn't plug in that numpad to test it out, but honestly, I'm kind of frustrated with how the case fitment is. I think I'm going to hold off on that for right now and play around with it later, because I really want to build something nice. And I'm not feeling the love as much on that one. So yeah, let me get some crap out of my way here, and we'll build something that hopefully will be a little bit more fun and enjoyable for me. Yeah, I mean, the build wasn't bad, but I just man, after all the nice cases I built, and I'm including the show snipe in that, like, I feel like the PC, maybe that's why, like, the PC showcases just have left something to be desired, like both the S60 as well as the S23. Had good luck with my PC snipe, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. That one did not do it for me, and that kind of sucks. But whatever. Okay, so those. Yeah, I can just pour these in here and screw them. But yes, another Cip PCB, and so I kind of want this to be a sleeper where, like, from the outside, nothing is, you know, out of the ordinary, and it's still built with predominantly OEM parts as far as the touch feel is concerned. But, you know, it'll be fully programmable. It'll be, you know, it'll have a lot of other stuff going on for it, so I think it'll be fun. And hey, we got another friend joining us. So I know a lot of you know Coraline here. She's my sweetie. She spends a lot of time hanging out on the desk, like pretty much right where she is right now. Ideally, she won't be doing that when I am working on this board, but she's here right now, so I'm gonna give her a little bit of love. Yeah, that's the special edition. That's the 10 cent board that Bogus was kind enough to send me the housing for. So that's another one though. We went fancy on the internals with that. We put silencing rings. We put all the crap. All right. Yeah, she this is her spot that she normally chills in. So I feel like she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I don't think she knows there's a stream on. I think she's just like, living her life. All right. So let me get this cat out of the way. Sorry. Oh, you gotta go, bud. Okay, that cat's getting crazy. Sorry, you need to quit it. Yeah, I had a pile of things, and she decided to explore what was in the pile and knock half of it over. I think I'm going to re-up on my beer. I was just realizing that I'm almost out of that. So give me a moment. I'm going to be back, and then I will start building the next one. What's up, MySpace 4983 lol? Yeah, they had a... that's what happens when cats are around, man. They knock shit over. Yeah, right. Cats are vindictive. They can be little dicks sometimes. Um, so I did realize one thing I'm going to need is a space bar. Jesus, cat. Space bar stabilizer. So let me dig one of those out of another dead board real quick, because there's one in here that I need to grab. Yeah, let me just knock this out. Alright, getting to use the fancy green one. So these things are cool. I like the grippy handle. It's definitely nicer than any other keycat puller I've got. Ooh, yeah, we got a little schmutz in there. I guess this one was a little heavier used. Alright. Yeah, my cats, they like keyboards. It's kind of funny. Like, I mean, I guess it's, they see me playing with them, so I think they want to do the same. But they're always kind of coming up to them, curling up with them, sitting near them. I guess they like to be involved with the objects that my hands are most likely to touch. Because, they're suckers for love. They like getting the cuddles and the pets, which I appreciate, because I like my cats. Alright. So I'm not gonna... I think I'm just gonna pop the spacebar stabs out right now, because that's all I need for the time being, and I can worry about the rest later. That is one of the artifacts of building as many boards as I have, is I've got a lot of boards in like this shape, where it's like I got the sliders, I got pieces and parts, but I don't have everything. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead, since we're doing as much OEM as we can, I'm gonna pop these wires out of here too. Why not? Well, shit, if I can, I'm gonna have to pull the caps to get them. Let's set that aside. Yeah, I'm just making a mess over here today. I didn't really plan either of these builds. I knew that I had my Cip boards incoming, that I wanted to build some stuff, but like I didn't really think through what stuff was going to entail. so yeah, here we are, just kind of making it up as we go along, and that's, you know, that's fun. I like just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I like going on bike rides where I don't have a destination in mind, or, you know, doing things where I'm not entirely certain of the outcome, but sometimes it's fun. So, all right, let me just pop these back on so I don't lose the sliders. Oh yeah, I forgot there's silencing rings on those. Man, yeah, I'm just making a mess of stuff. In fact, I'm making such a mess of stuff, I think I might have even lost my the spacebar spring for this board, which I've done before. Oof. Oh no, I set it aside. Alright, cool. See, sometimes I feel like I have to outsmart myself, otherwise I'm just going to be losing shit. So it's like, set it somewhere that's fairly obvious, but not completely obvious, so that I don't knock it off, but it's still within within sight. All right. So I'll worry about putting that crap back together later, because it really doesn't matter right now. And I'll focus on the one I care about, which is my my classic. And yeah, that's why I keep these cups around, because otherwise I'll just be making a mess of all my screws, all my parts, everything. So yeah, let's do that. All right. So yeah, I believe that, are the Cip boards, I think they are open source. If you go to his GitHub, you should find branches for all his various projects. And he's like, oh man, I love that about Cip. I love that, like, I'm a tech guy. I work with a lot of like FOSS, you know, the free and open source software at work. I love the you know, ideas and the, you know, kind of the, I don't know, the vibe, the reason behind the open source movement and the community. And I love that that kind of stuff is also like featuring in, you know, design work, where it's not just software that's getting open source. It's these, you know, these designs, these objects, these, you know, it's, oh, maybe it's not, what does he call it? He calls it the EC, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have that one. EC Pro X, I think is what the plate is called, or the you know, the main PCB. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't, and I'll have to look after the stream. But yeah, if not, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's like the one for sale product or something, and everything else is for free, because you got to make money off of something. All right, so this is just, I mean, you know, I kind of tidied that up a little bit, though, the cat hairs, because that dang cat just came and laid on my desk or getting all over it. But let's just go ahead and pop in a few things. I'm going to touch up the lube job here in a little bit, but at least get these put back together. For the sliders, like I said, I'm not going to be using silencing rings. I do want full thock out of this setup, but they are going to be RO50. They are already actually RO59 coated. So I've got a giant like thing of freaking sliders of various types. Most of these are unsilenced. I do have some like 1.5U, like the weird, you know, from the Japanese board sliders in here, and I got a couple other this and that, but I think most of the stuff is just, you know, stock unsilenced OEM. So let's just start popping things together. And this one, I mean, because I'm really not adding anything beyond what it was built with, other than, you know, the Cip PCB. This one's going to go together really quick. So yeah, let's just do that. Oh, thank you, Cip. Yeah, God, I don't know why I'm just talking shit over here, because like, yeah, you're on the stream. You can answer these questions. So thank you for your for chiming in there, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate all the vendors and all their nifty little products and stuff. Some of them work better than others. Like these little standoffs that I think Des made these. Not the biggest fan. Actually, any of the, the dust covers seem to do a better job of like acting as a standoff for this step than those things do. So I just pop one of those beneath it and then just go through and knock these out. And yeah, these are, RO59 is my preferred lube. So at least for this, just because they're, they don't get sticky. They don't seem to adhere to like dust and stuff as much. They don't, I don't know, it lasts for a long time. Like it stays on there. I've taken boards apart that I built a while ago, and like it still has the RO59 coating on there through like a lot of repeated use. It's good stuff, I'd say, altogether. But yeah, I know other people go with other things, other kind of like oil-based lubes, greases, but this just seems to work the best for me. You're breaching C Pointer's logic? Uh-oh. What does that even mean? You lost me on that one. And I'm sorry, guys, I've not really been keeping up with the chat while I've just been sitting here building and rattling on, but I did want to kind of blaze through 2 builds tonight, even though they're not the most complicated builds, and, that does require more heads down time than I could probably stand to do with, if I'm trying to keep up a chat stream here. MySpace. No, I have not used iFixit tools. I may have to look into those. I've heard good things about them. I know people who use them. But no, my screwdriver set is some cheapo, something I got off of Amazon. And I don't mess with electric screwdrivers for these kind of builds. I like the being able to manually feel the torque and tension on screws. Like, I worry I'm going to strip stuff with an electric screwdriver. So I try to, I just don't use them. And that's even when I'm putting together like a 980 board that has, 8 million screws, or, a full-size real force. Like, I would rather take the time and do it by hand than breeze through with an electric screwdriver and run the potential of cross-threading or stripping or, just screwing something up in general. Oh, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I just realized that I've been like kicking off the character 3 a million times on my board, so I guess I don't know, something just sent. It might actually be impossible to pull off what you were trying to do. Oh man, crazy. You are going beyond. I love that your designs are like breaching the limits of reality. In another dimension, there is another bizarro Cip who is like even gone farther, I'm sure. But no, I don't exactly know what you're saying, but I'm kind of excited by it. Because like I've said it before, I love being a layman. Like, I love experiencing and like bearing witness to all these awesome designs and work that everybody has put in, but man, I'll be damned if I can understand this stuff. I am definitely not an EE or any kind of like anybody with any letters next to their name. So I'm a big old nerd, but man, you guys, like, the work that you guys are doing is fascinating to me, and I'm loving following it. Linus Tech Tips has a ratcheting screwdriver set. That's kind of cool. Okay, so it's still manual, but, you don't have to spin it so much. That's kind of nice. Oh. Well, shoot, man. Sounds like the gang is all here. I hear one of my other cats meowing outside, so I'm going to let him in real quick if he wants to come in. Oh, Carl went out. So yeah. And this is Giorgio, who many of you already know. He spends a lot of his time outside because he likes the... I don't know why the hell he spends the time out there. He's found something that he enjoys doing out there, so I let him do it. Yeah, that's probably something I should look into, is because, I mean, I do enough of these builds. I should stop using such chintzy screwdrivers and stuff, and maybe upgrade to something worthwhile. Because heaven forbid I tear up some of these nice, fancy, keyboard kits with my shitty little, $12 Amazon job. But I also wonder, like, when you're buying a Linus Tech Tip screwdriver, what are you spending on the screwdriver, and what are you spending on the Linus Tech Tips? Like, how many hands are out between that screwdriver and you that, all getting a little piece of that money? So, can you find a $40 screwdriver that's just as good as that $70 screwdriver that has, Xiaomi or, some, whatever, some generic brand on it or something? And are they just reselling that, whatever screwdriver and putting Linus Tech Tips on it and charging $70? Have you used it? Okay, iFixit Mako. Where are we? Hop, Hebe Swiss. Yeah, okay. That's good to hear. I don't really have a lot of experience with fancier hand tools, so maybe when since I'm kind of starting to slow down on the keyboard building and acquisition, maybe I should look into upgrading my toolkit. Yeah, I will say that the continued releases of all these aftermarket parts and PCBs really has me excited, because this allows for so many more, you think of iFixit, right to repair, the ability to fix your own shit. Like, I've been dicking with a board that had one key that was not firing, and it seems like that it was an issue with the cable itself, because it's when I swap it out for another cable and I plug in different controllers, I can get it working, but for whatever reason I just can't get this one working. And so it's nice that there's aftermarket sources for a lot of this stuff, and more aftermarket sources presenting themselves for replacement parts. Like, now we've got, if you kill your classic, and I mean, now you have to wait for a Cip PCB. It's not like you can just go to the store and buy one, but there's PCBs that you can get that allow you to replace the stock ones. There's, Neko just found on AliExpress, a potential replacement interior cable for the Pro 3 models. That's like $8 for two of them. So it's like, if we can, if there's, we can find more of these parts, that really is going to allow us to keep these boards running for much longer. And if something down the road does fail on it, then we've got, sources for replacement. So I dig the work Cip's doing with his boards. I dig the, Buddy OG, and even though, he's harvesting the stuff, I mean, that gives us the parts that we need to fix our own shit without having to go out and buy an entire reel force and tear it down. And, I appreciate that there's availability. And I would love to see someone on the aftermarket, and I know I'm not the only one asking for this, come out with EC compatible sliders. Give me aftermarket EC compatible sliders, or Topre compatible. I want them to work with the keycap sets that I like to use on my boards, but I don't want to have to harvest to get them. So if I can build everything else with aftermarket parts, but the sliders, if I want to use OEM keycaps, like, that's just, come on, let's get it together and let's get the keycaps we need and get the sliders we need and get everything else going. and then we can have full compatibility. Now I know I'm in a small minority because MX rules the world and everybody just wants to convert to MX, but not everybody wants to. Like, come on. There's other nice stuff out there that's not MX. There's nice Topre keycaps out there. There's the impending Ursa keycaps. There's like other shit. Yes, actually, Topre user, I did use a Play-Doh plate. Here I can take a brief second. This is built with a Play-Doh plate. So I built this up the other night. I didn't actually stream the build because it was the night before a meetup, and I just really wanted to like speed run it. So I built this thing, tore down another board, and did all this shit in like 2 hours because I had to meet someone for dinner. But yeah, so check it out. Check out that pink. That is not what you normally expect to see when you pull a keycap on a heavy grail. But this is a stainless steel powder coated Play-Doh prototype plate. Now this isn't the release one. The mounting points on it were slightly different. So I wanted to try that and kind of like check out the differences between what was prototyped and what went to like development. But it feels really good. So this has I built this one up with 55-gram domes. I think this has number 7 rings, and it has the it has like the type S sliders in I think mostly type S housings, though I think I end up having to use the different housings for the shifts. So you know what? Let me double check. I don't want to lie to you. Yeah. So I used and I'm sorry, I said type S, but real force. So I used real force housings and everything but the 2Us. And those I used the DES housings just because of how I wanted the rings to stack, and that allowed everything to kind of level out. But yeah, it feels good. It is sturdy. It feels a lot more like a real force. Like I've got a 55-gram 87U, and that's probably the closest thing I would say this feels to that. And I tried some other stuff. I tried burger mounting the back of the plate. I used the gasket, and then I used Buddy OG's burger mount rings on the screws that hold the plate in. I don't feel like that really added, it didn't really add much in the way of feel. This thing feels like it's like in there rock solid. But yeah, it's the plate. It feels very different. It definitely feels different than like the PC plate or whatever I don't know if it's ABS or whatever his other plates are made out of, but it's nice. It feels really good. It's sturdy as hell. Like it kind of bridges that gap between like the HHKB feel and what Norbauer was going for with his integrated, the plastic integrated housing plates, and what you find in like a Real Force or a Leopold. And to some, that's a much more, that's more of a premier experience. Like it really, like the feel of a Leopold, the feel of a Real Force board. It doesn't feel like an HHKB, and some people prefer HHKB, but some people prefer the other manufacturers, and that's it's cool that we can now make our HHKBs, or our heavy grails, I should say, feel more like that Leopold, that Real Force stock experience, as well as enabling us to use additional aftermarket parts, being able to try out like the Densis sliders and housings, or the desk stuff, or even just like OEM Real Force stuff, or throw some high pro housings and sliders in there. Like you could do whatever, but because of the Play-Doh plate, you're really free to do so now, versus just only being able to use the what is provided within the the integrated housing plate of the heavy grail. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to hit these with just a little bit more lube around the wire, just because some of it did displace slightly when I slid it in, but not bad. And then I'm going to use the brush to kind of like make sure that it's where I want it to be. Okay. Yeah, so that. You know, I really do like the feel of. You know, Real Force feels good. Leopold feels really good. I think of all of them, like the Leopold boards are just so well made. Like they just feel so good. And I'm just kind of like making sure that that gets in there fully around that wire. Um, yeah, the Leopold boards, like the 980, the 660, the cases feel good. The I don't know, just the plate feels good. The key press feels good. Everything in them feels really good. I was really impressed with those boards. Um, and I like the Norbauer aftermarket cases for them. I just don't care for the layout. So it's like, as much as I like all these other boards, I always go back to HHKB because of the layout. But now I've got a heavy grail that in essence feels like a Real Force or a Leopold board, but it's in the layout that I like. So it's kind of nice to be able to, to hit all those points. Yeah, same. I have other layouts, but I'm 99% of my time is on HHKB. So yeah, Play-Doh plate is super cool. I really dig it. Um, so yeah, I'm wondering if I want to put those other landing pads over the spacebar from Buddy just for the heck of it. And yeah, again, we're applying a little bit more lube to these. Last time I built this board up, because I built it up with aftermarket parts before, I did lube the spacebar stab. So I'm not starting from square one. And I'm also not going in there and like cleaning the old stuff off there, because I built this thing maybe like a year and a half ago. So, and it didn't get a ton of use. So I think that what's in there should be more than fine for what I'm doing here. Cool. Yeah, exactly. No, I have one for my dad because he likes a decent keyboard. I've got, if my brother's over, like I'll set him up with something. But yeah, for my use, it's really all about the HHKBs. And all right, I guess I got one more pet outside. I'm gonna let that guy in too. Pardon me. There goes Carl. I'm not going to try to catch him. I think a lot of y'all have already seen him before. Okay, so again, this is just going to be basically a stock plus build. So I'm trying to put stock parts in, but treat them well. So I put stock sliders and stabs back in, but made sure they were lubed up. RO59, everything else. Next come domes, and that's when the 2012 Pro 2 domes come into play. And again, this is going to make my job easy because unlike the Pro 3 hybrid classic, whatever you want to call them, dome sheet or dome strips, these come in these nice sheets. It's basically just like a two-piece covers the majority of the alphas. So yeah, cat hair and this house, I swear, I really try hard not to get them in my keyboard, but these animals move around. This shit floats on the air. They will sometimes land. Alright. Yeah, look how easy that is. Look how well those rank up. I swear. Pro 2s, like, they should have kept doing that forever. And I don't know why they didn't, but, dude, it just makes everything about the experience so much easier. So yeah, that's it, and then it's just like a couple 1Us to fill out the rest of this stuff. So just throw these together. We'll get out some springs. We'll throw the sit board on, and then this one we're 100% actually going to plug in and test and play with, because I am not at all mad at this. How can you get mad at an HHKB? Like aftermarket stuff comes with warts. I run into issues, but man, I swear, these like stock boards, I mean, unless you like, bust a freaking screw off or, crack something or whatever, like these things just, I love the experience of tearing these things down and putting them back together. They're really, really great keyboards. And yeah, freaking cat hair. I need to figure out a way to eliminate that better, because I love my cats, I love my dogs, I love my creatures, but I really don't want their schmutz getting into my freaking keyboards. Sorry y'all, this isn't the most exciting part of a keyboard build, but I figured just a moment now to make sure that's not in there and keep everything feeling so much better. Yeah, and actually I have no idea what the heck that is, so let's just get that out of there anyways. Alright. So that's a bunch of Pro 2 domes, which as far as domes go, probably my preferred feeling domes. I do have a few Pro 1 boards. I love them a lot, but I don't know, there's just something about the Pro 2 domes, and maybe it's just like a middle point for me. Like, yeah, old is nice, and I've got one that I'm going to strip down and put in a board just because I want to be able to say I've got 20-year-old domes in this board, but I don't know, after a certain point, do they keep getting better, or is it just diminishing returns, and we're all trying to, you know, fool ourselves into thinking that our shit's the craziest, the snappiest, the best? Yeah, I've got a couple, trying to think. Yeah, I know of one that I've still got in my closet. I think the other one I had it on I tore down. But yeah, they're okay. I don't know, they're not my, you know, they're shiny, they look good, like, I like them, but it's not, I don't know, I kind of like the stealth board look better, so I don't put them on most of my stuff. I did have one board that's kind of my shiny hacky board that I threw it on, but otherwise I typically avoid them. Alright, so that is 3 stuck together. Now, these are all OEM springs, so I really do want to, like, use these and not get them tangled, and like, I'm fine if I lose a desk spring or two because they get tangled, but these I really am hoping to, like, not screw up. I want to keep these nice, because I can't just go and buy packs of 120 of these. Sorry, I keep doing things off camera, but I'm just trying to, am I going the right way with this? Sheesh. I hate this step. Oh, did I get it to slide? Did I? Oh, no, I did not. Alright. Oh, there we go. I got it. Hell yeah. Yeah, I hate that part. Yeah, for sure. Like, the right amount of keys. I mean, you know, it is taupe, so you're dealing with a lot of screws, but even like the right amount of screws, like compared to, you know, doing a 980 or a full size, like, I don't mind pulling, you know, sub 20 screws. Like, it doesn't feel like it's as much of a fucking chore as doing something that's like 36 screws just to take the PCB off, not including the housing and everything else. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like an HHKB is just long enough to keep you engaged and interested, and doesn't wear you out or drag you down. And if you, you know, heaven forbid, you do misalign something, like, you know, you've only got like a dozen or so screws to pull to get back to where you were, versus, oh shit, cool, like, I'm 36 screws in, and I just found out one dome isn't firing, so, well, fuck me. Yeah. Nah, I agree, potato barbecue. HHKB is just pleasant. Alright. So we're slowly getting there with these springs. feel like the deeper you get into the spring box, the the more coiled you find them as you work your way through the easy ones and are only left with the problem cases. But ain't that how it is with everything? You deal with all the small rocks, and all you're left with are the big rocks. So, all right. Yeah, that's one. Okay. So I will say, after I dealt with some of the desk springs, and I tried my best, and I will say that several of my boards that are built with desk springs are working just fine, but a couple of them I just could not get them fully error free. And I did notice on the desks, the conical springs, that like a lot of them on the very end of the largest coil, like if you look at the little cutoff end of it, um, and I don't know if I can even show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't get the damn thing to focus. Yeah, the little the end of the coil of the spring, it had a bit of a kink on it, and so it would like hang up sometimes on the coil above it and cause interference and issues. Um, as I've been like really paying attention to these springs as I'm sorting them and like pulling them apart and stuff, I've begun to notice OEM like gold original springs in a similar state. So while their cuts are oftentimes cleaner on HHKB like OEM springs and real force springs and stuff, it doesn't seem to always be the case. Like this one here, it's got a slight bit of a, yeah, damn, I need to get better cameras because it's just got like a slight bit of a curve on that end that will actually, it looks like it's laying one level above the second to last coil. So like I could see that maybe causing some rub or some spring noise. So I'm gonna just set that one aside for now, and skip it for this build. But yeah, there's another one that's like cut at a slight angle, and so it looks like if it lays both below the row above it and like could even rub. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I guess OEM isn't completely free of sin with regards to like weird spring cuts, but maybe it really just does it really matter? I mean, all of these were out of live keyboards that all worked when I before I took them apart. So it's like, how much does that really matter if it was good enough to go in and work for somebody and be sold used and be bought by me and work for me? It's like, well, I mean, the shit really just works, so whatever. Yeah, shake the container. So my worry about that is that as they come apart, other ones also go together. So I'm like, am I tying the knot tighter for certain springs? Like, am I doing damage while I'm trying to fix them? I don't know. I'd rather just sit here and ramble and ponder the meaning of Topre existence and just work my way through them than throw them against a bowl or shake a container. And if y'all are faster than me at that, then keep using your method. Yeah, no, I just saw your comment, Topper user, about getting a real force rebuilt with no issues on the first try. It doesn't always happen, but when it happens, it sure feels good. Like, I love that build. It's like, when you build a PC and put everything together and don't, test individual components and just like, all right, I built everything. I put all the screws in, all the cards are in, all the memory, everything is built up. Let's turn it on and see what happens. And you push that power button. Like, when that system boots on that first press, that's a good feeling. And I kind of get that same feeling out of a keyboard when I'm like, all right, I probably could have stopped with only 4 screws in the PCB and testing it out, but instead I went all the way. I put everything back together. I slapped keycaps on it. This thing is fully built. Plug it in, and holy shit, it all works. Hell yeah! Like, that's a good feeling. All right, so we're almost coming down to last little bit of spring action here, and then I think we can plug in put on the sit board and plug it in and fire it up and see what it does, which I'm very excited to find out. Yeah, I haven't built PCs as often lately. I've got one kind of, gaming PC that has a decent enough graphics card and shit ton of RAM and drive space and an okay processor, but like I don't know, when I used to work in a test lab, and I've probably talked about that before. I worked for AMD, and I got to build a lot of engineering samples and put together a lot of test systems and test platforms, and like it's always fun when you build one of those up and plug it in and it actually fires up, like not even like boots fully, but like even turns on and you get something on the monitor, like even if it's just like a flashy cursor or something. Like it always feels good to get those working, because sometimes those things come pretty raw, and you get a lot of weird mumbo jumbo to actually get one to fire up. So oh, we are almost there. I think we got like 2 left. And before I button this up, I'm definitely going to give it the once over and make sure I'm not missing anything like I did on that last build, because that was embarrassing. Like, glad you all stuck with me through that, because man, that's talk about an amateur move right there. All right. So that looks about right. I do think I have a dome everywhere I need one, and yeah, I think that looks right. So I was thinking, just because I've been wanting to try all this buddy stuff out, let me go ahead and grab, I'm going to put those landing pads underneath the space bar, just because sometimes, especially in these unsilenced ones like this, the space bars can get annoying. So yeah, let me find where I put those, and we're gonna slap some on. I keep reaching out of frame. I've got a dining room table full of all sorts of crap. Okay. Yeah, there. Yeah, before I started building, I just put on a playlist called Memphis Horrorcore, and so I've been getting a lot of good, 3-6 and Tommy Wright and all sorts of fun stuff, so hope you all don't mind, but I do enjoy this kind of music. Alright. So yeah, so these just lay right on there like so, and again, they do not stick. So that is definitely, something to consider when you're laying these down and then you're lining up your board over them. Like, just make sure you're not too, don't jostle it around too much to keep everything in place. All right, so we've got all that. I think it's time for Cip board. I'm just giving it a quick look to make sure nothing looks out of alignment, but I feel like I'm pretty right on. Yeah, let's install the Cip board. And Cip, I really hope you're sleeping, but if you do catch the VOD or whatever, I've been so excited about this moment, especially for this board, because the fact that we can now like put things back together after we've torn them apart with aftermarket and have a much nicer cable that is probably less easy to damage. Like I am so stoked about this. Okay, so here they are. All right, I knew I had them around here somewhere. So HHKB screws. And I think, yeah, these should be fine. So I mentioned it on my last stream, but like when you're going into, you know, a softer material like plastic with these screws, you know, it really helps to kind of, when you line it up, back it up just slightly, till you hear that click of the thread dropping into the actual channel that have been previously cut in the plastic. Because the last thing you want to do is just, you know, like drive that screw home and tear up, you know, the already cut threads and cross thread, and like that's how you know, destroy your board to the point where you can't put it back together again, is by tearing up those threads. So I try to make it a point to, you know, to do that, you know, as I'm screwing them in, so that I don't cut farther channels, cause any kind of damage. But I don't know, it's you know, it's a little thing, but yeah, I know I mentioned that on the previous stream, and so again, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be, you know, condemned with repetition here, but that's one that is, you know, I've mentioned it to a couple people. It's saved a lot of threads out there, so like, I mean, that might just be common sense to folk, but I did have a, you know, an epiphany moment of, wow, this is a way better way of doing this, and a long time ago, again, when I was working in the AMD Performance Lab, and it's like, you know, when you only have one of something and you gotta, you know, test 30 processors in it, and you gotta keep unscrewing and rescrewing and putting shit back together, you get real good at not damaging threads when, like, you know, your, you know, multi-million-dollar processor launch is, you know, waiting on, you know, the metrics from these test parts. Yeah, that's, you know, you don't want to do that, like, because yeah, those are harder parts to fix than others. Like, I don't know, I'm sure there's, you know, ways of like rebonding the plastic, or like filling it with something and then tapping it again, or, you know, whatever, but I don't know, that seems like a lot of trouble that could be avoided if you just simply like make sure you're not, you know, screwing up your threads. And again, I'm just, you know, going for it. So we're not just going to put a few screws in and test. We're screwing everything together, or at least, you know, at least the PCB, so I can flip it over and type a few keys here. I'm so excited with the fact that like we're now at the point that you can pretty much replace everything inside of a stock board. You can build up a heavy grail with, you know, aftermarket parts. You can, you know, combine half a dozen different manufacturers' components and build something completely wild. Like, there's just, the EC world's exciting, and it's, you know, it's still dwarfed by MX, but as someone who's enjoyed, you know, Topre keyboards for, I don't know, what, 2016, I think was 2015 or 2016, I guess, when I got a Pro 2 right before the BTs came out. So yeah, I think that was 2016. Like, it's, you know, we come a long way, man. All right. Yeah, it's definitely got that signature Pro 2 or Pro, you know, Pro Classic, whatever, unsilenced stock. All right. So let's go ahead and attach the controller board, plug it in, close this up, and make sure that things trigger, because that's what I'm really excited about, is actually making it work. All right. So yeah, this is nice in that, you know, I kind of feel like there's like, I'm trying to think of what I even call it, like, the Pro Classic kind of reminds me of the Pro 1 in the purity of the board. Like, it doesn't have any extra bullshit on it. It doesn't have any silly little ports. It doesn't have like anything but what it needs. Like, it is like, It is the HHKB that is an HHKB and nothing less. Oh man, that's in a heavy grail? I just read that. I'm so sorry, Topra user. That is a major bummer. Because, yeah, those things aren't cheap. And I mean, I guess you probably could get a replacement plate, but that's like a, what, $100-something ouch. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Oh, crack the pro. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I don't follow along as well as I would like to. Okay, so this goes this way, right? Or does it? Am I doing? Okay, yeah. So this fits like so. So I guess it would make it easy to plug in first. That's what I was checking. So yeah, it's interesting. So it's basically just this little JST, like 4-lane, whatever the heck. I'm really impressed by, going from that 30-pin wide cable to this. Like that's pretty sweet. And I expect these are a lot cheaper to manufacture. They're, a lot easier to replace if you ever did crap one out, but yeah, that's man, Cip. You're doing sick work, dude. I love this shit. Alright. God dang it. Yeah, I really don't like these coarse threaded tapping screws. Like, these are the tricky ones sometimes. And again, I feel like struggling with my bit heads because these just... Oh, there we go. I think I found one that actually mates up to it correctly. So, yeah, that feels a lot nicer. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's nicer. It's like a freaking eyeglasses screw at this point. So I would say in the classic model, the benefit to me at least would be much more programmability. Because otherwise, I mean, the classic, it doesn't run Bluetooth. It's not like it's battery powered. It's not. It's just a keyboard. So I feel like this is just a keyboard plus. It's a keyboard that you can make do whatever you want it to. So you can reprogram it however. I mean, it's, All right. So I think that should be... Why is this not... Is this... Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it might help if I made sure the cable stayed out of the way. There we go. That's better. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in and see if I can type on it. Because, it should just kind of work like this. Oh, I heard a beep. Oh, there's Windows. Oh my God, dude. It's happening. Let me pull up a keyboard tester. Oh, duh. Man, that is the one thing I don't like, because I don't like that delete key. Alright, so... Hell yeah, everything freaking works. Damn, that's nice. Oh, dude, yeah. The one thing I don't like with how this is currently set up is it is set up for the delete key rather than backspace, and I am a backspace guy. I don't like that key being delete. Like, it just, that feels very unnatural to me. I feel like that's probably the one change that I make from the stock HHKB layout that I can't cotton with. So I don't care for I don't care for that being delete by default. It just doesn't feel right to me. But yeah, no, seriously, Yahtzee, like I love when shit works. And really, like, I mean, this again was a very, this was a night of very simple builds, but I wanted some easy wins, like. And I can't say that I'm perfectly satisfied with the the S23, but I know some things I can fix. I'm gonna look for some different hardware for, I'm gonna make it better. Not tonight, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this one, especially because this one is just such a basic build. But I think it'll be nice to have as part of the collection because, I don't know, everything else I have is so freaking hot rodded and silenced and this and that. Like, sometimes it's nice just to have an HHKB that's an HHKB. Okay. So I know I had some keycaps that I was going to throw on this. I'm trying to remember where I put them. I think they might be in this Domi box. And because I literally just built a, the Black Professional 2 with unlegended caps, I'm going to go ahead and put legends on this. Oh. It looks like I had a spacebar spring under the spacebar in this, so I just need to find a new place to stash this extra one. Yeah, so I think he was talking about some upgrades to that actuation point changer that he has on his as well. So yeah, like that is one thing that is pretty excited about it. I mean, if he can like replicate like the GX1 style that, like, I think they have like an infinitely variable or at least like heavily variable APC that you can do whatever with. Man, unsilenced sounds like shit. I mean, not always, but yeah, I don't like the spacebar sounds. I will say that that's one place that I enjoy having them quieter. And yeah, I don't know what happened to these caps. Some of this stuff sits around in boxes for a while or gets beat up, so it looks like this one kind of rubbed against something and has something on there, but not too worried about it. Yeah, I am definitely way more into silence. Like, I wanted to build this one unsilenced just because, again, it's a classic. Like, they're not supposed to be silenced, so I wanted to kind of, be as close to the classic experience as I could while still, like, upgrading what I could without changing the flavor of the classic. Which, to me, a Type S is a Type S. So if you're silencing your classic, it's just, like, it's not a classic necessarily anymore. Man. Yeah, I'm stoked to play around with the programmability of this of these boards. I've not. I might save that for another stream, just because I think after this build, I might kind of wrap it up and eat some more of that. I made some amazing shrimp curry earlier, which I actually added some crawfish to it as well, just because we in the South. But man, it turned out so good. Yeah, I've got one of my heavy grails is also unsilenced and kind of like the closest thing to a stock built heavy grail as I could get, and I do like that experience. Like, there's something to be said for an HHKB as it is. Like, and as much as we all love modifying everything, like, it's like some people say, OEM greater than. Like, there's just stock is nice. Like, there was something about stock that made so many of us fall in love with these keyboards in the first place. And then we spend our entire hobby running from stock. And I'm like, why not sometimes every once in a while go back to that original love. Like, what was it about the HHKB that really clicked with you? It's like, maybe chase that rather than running from it. All right. So there we go. After what? I think I bought this thing in 2019, maybe? Oh, no, this is a 2020. Okay, so yeah. So I guess I bought the first round of the hybrids when they came out, and I waited on the classic. But, okay, so it's, it's a 3-year-old board, but I pretty much bought it and, tore it apart almost instantly because I was building something out of it. So, oh, man. Okay. I'm gonna quiet things down and do the typing test that everybody loves, because yeah, that is one nice thing about I don't know. I was gonna say the unsilenced thock, like it. I don't like it in an office environment. I really like quiet boards in an office environment, but there's just like, this is the Topre sound to me. Back here, let me plug it in and actually see if I can type something. Even though that no backspace key is going to kill me. Yeah, that's a nice sound. Like, that's Topre. Yep, and I'm not having a single misfire. Dude, yeah, Cip, this thing is cool as hell. Like, the only thing right now I really want to change is my delete is not backspace, it's delete. So, like, yeah, I got to do the function backspace to actually backspace. And I don't like that. But yeah, dude, hey, what's up, Neko? Welcome back. Yeah, I was just talking about the layout of this thing, and actually, like, I like that these are the Windows keys, or command keys on Cip's default layout. The only thing I don't like that I've found so far is that this is not backspace, this is delete. So, like, if I wanted to, I'm gonna have to change that, because I'm a backspace guy, I'm not a delete guy. Yeah, I built it up as a classic. The only real differences besides it, I want it just to look like a classic. It's, sleeper board from the outside, but, it's got the Cip board in it, obviously, so I can program it. I RO59 the sliders. I lubed. I put Buddy's landing pads under the spacebar stabs, though, honestly, it doesn't seem like they're doing that much. It might be a little better the O-ring under the spacebar that I've done before. I don't know if this is via or Vile. I've actually not done any. I've not reprogrammed any of the Cip boards, so I'll have to find out. Here, let's see. Hold down Escape. Plug it in. Wasn't that how you do it? Is it via? Oh my god, Cip. So, okay, so I held down Escape, I plugged it in, and yeah, now it looks like input is no longer working, so I'm assuming that's connected for flashing. So via, huh? Oh. Okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I can't type on it anymore because I fucking took it out of... Oh, you don't? Okay. Oh, dang. My VSC's my EC Pro X ANSI ISO. Holy crap. What the shit? This is cool. Okay, how do I don't even know how to do this. Can I make this show? Let's see. Can I share a... What the heck? Window capture. Is that what it is? Okay. Well... Alright, so I've got this thing plugged in. And yeah, it shows up as this EC Pro X ANSI ISO. That's cool. Alright, so... Oh, what am I doing? I should probably click on the right app. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So let me change delete to... Where is it? Backspace. Otherwise, this is pretty much the layout I use, so... Yeah, obviously left control is, like, the only thing you can do. Like, what else is there? What the fuck is caps lock? And then I like my Windows keys in the corner like that, just because, like, when I'm gaming, I like being able to, like, thumb between Alt and Spacebar when I'm doing things, and I don't like accidentally hitting my Windows keys, so putting it on the side like that kind of buries it a little bit more. It makes it a little easier on me to not fuck it up. So, and can I ask, can you guys see the VIA that's on my screen? I'm not sure if this is working correctly or not, but I'm hoping so. Yeah, I usually that's usually how I do it. So, exactly. Yep. And thank you for not making that freaking power. I hate it when that is power. That corner one, like, I hate function escape, like, with every fiber of my being. That is the worst fucking feature. Especially when you're remoted into, like, some fucking CentOS server somewhere, and you know, are trying to, like, hit F1 or some shit, and you hit fucking power. Like, who does that? Who thought that was a good idea? Wada, why have you done this? But yeah, this is, dude, I am so stoked. Like, I'm wondering, like, I just, what else do I want to do? Like, I'm thinking, like, should I configure some macros? Should I configure, like, what are the media keys? So that's volume up, volume down, mute. Like, what else should I do? Like, I feel like I should do other stuff. Like, yeah, do play, media stop. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I'm just so stoked to be able to play with this. Yeah, thank you, Cip R2, dude. Like, seriously, that is fucking hero move. Like, mad props to you on that one, because that is the most annoying feature in my life. Like, I hate that shit so much. Yeah, that's brilliant. All right. Yeah, so this is so cool. So do I need to do anything to save it, or just unplug it and plug it back in? Because, I mean, I didn't change much. Like, all I really changed was, like, adding a play and a stop for the hell of it, just to see if that works with Spotify. You need to map a mode key? Well, that's... I'm just leaving that for, because that just takes me to layer 1, so that's fine. That's my function key. Oh, to access layer 3, you would map another mode key. So, like, I could map, you know, let's say I didn't use this right Windows key, I could map that to my layer. So that would be, you know, mode 2 or whatever, or I think you can do, like, tap. Like, I don't remember what all these stand for, but, like, turn on. So that's, like, if I wanted to, like, permanently change my layers. So yeah, there's all sorts of space function. Dude, I'm gonna have to play with this. Like, I'm not gonna do this tonight because I'm definitely, like, getting a little crunchy on the built-in keyboards and shit. But Oh man, I'm stoked. I'm glad to be looking at this because yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this here, dude. Cip, you're my hero. This is so cool. Okay, so layouts, macros, save and load. So can I just save it as a file? Okay, yeah, I can save it as a file. Is there anything else? So I just unplug it and plug it back in then? Dude, this is so sick. All right, here we go. Unplugged. Plugged back in. Okay, so that's cool. Let's see. So is my delete key? Yo, it actually works now like a backspace. Oh my god, that is sick as hell. Yeah, no, that's too easy. And let's see, does this work? Okay, I'm old tech here. I'm like, oh, do I have to reboot the machine? And it just freaking works. Cip, dude, you the real MVP, man. Like this is awesome. I can't wait to build those other ones, and I'm gonna have to order a couple more of these from you. I'm kicking myself for getting as few as I did. And I got 3 of them. So yeah, I'm stoked. Okay, okay. Yo, that is sick. That is the coolest fucking thing now. Yeah, alright. I now own, like, the baddest classic that's still a classic around. Like, holy shit. That's too cool. That is too cool. Okay, how do I turn this off? Alright. Yeah, so, rapid trigger soon. Oh my god. Yeah, so now I'm thinking I might end up putting my Pro 2 one in my gamer board, my, the 10-cent board, so that, excuse me, so I can do the rapid trigger thing with that. Dude, you've just opened up a whole new world. Like, this is, yeah, pretty freaking cool. Alright, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm glad I got through 2 builds. Like, I'll go ahead and pull that other one up so we can do the side-by-side. Today we, we resurrected the Pro Classic. We built a, somewhat scuffed S23. I'm not the most pleased with this one, but I know what I don't like about it, and I feel like we can make it work again. So, or at least make it work better. Swap the caps for something that doesn't absolutely suck. Like, this is fun, though. I like the eject key. Ready? Like, so much force that it fucking sends the keycaps. And that's with 90-gram extreme domes. So, yeah, between, going from 90-gram freaking domes to, like, 45-gram, 11-year-old Pro 2 domes to, these, like, 30-gram, like, nice at, like, oh, man, I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, these keys major suck. I am not happy with them. I bought them for cheap as shit, though. Unfortunately, I bought them long enough ago that I probably can't, like, get a refund on them because, holy crap, these are garbage. Alright. Yeah, I mean, shit. Here, you know what? Screw it. Tell you what. Let's find out. Let's mess around with it since we still got you here. Okay, so yeah, let me start sharing this again. Let's plug it in and find out. Why not? We're here, right? Oh, there it goes. It detects. Connect. And there it is. So yeah, so we got, okay, so escape, tab, backspace, numlock. So, okay, so that makes, so I'm going to go ahead and just like do a little keycap swap and make this little happy smiley people my funky layer button, just for the hell of it. So then what did he, let's see. So that's numlock, and that's going to be MO1. So what does 1 do? So that's just a pass through. So RGB toggle, brightness toggle, reset. All right, I'm curious about these RGB toggle. I didn't really look close enough at the board, but is there a place you can tap in for RGB? Oh man, I'm curious. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be, again, like... Yeah, so you could very easily, like, turn this into a macro pad. In fact, you could even change, like, so you could have, you know, your regular layout, your numlock, so you could, like, change to your arrows and stuff. So for the layers key, so MO is momentary layer, TG is toggle layer. So like I could probably change that to toggle layer. Yeah, I mean, shoot, dude, like, do I really need, like... Yeah, like, I feel like, you know, I could change some of these to, like, toggle layers, and then under my toggle layers... What the shit is this stuff? This is cool. So, yeah. So you could, like... I mean, you could, like, set it up to be, like, keyboard mouse and, like, toggle layer over to, like... Oh, sorry, guys. I just realized I turned off my mic. Yeah, I'm just... Yeah, you could hit a key to run, you know, to kick off your, you know, your GitLab merge, or like... Oh, man. Yeah, this is really, really, really cool. Okay. Yeah, I've not played around with this via as much as I should, but this is making me really want to mess with it more. Okay. Okay. Yeah, dude, Cip, I'm so glad that you're, you know, you're still with us. I'm sorry it's probably, what, freaking 4 in the morning there or something, 4:30? But, dude, this is sick. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this stream, because, yeah, I definitely want to play around with this some more, but maybe not right now. I'm definitely looking forward to round 2 of Curry. But yeah, Cip, again, I am so freaking impressed. Like, I've been looking forward to these. I think I ordered mine at, like, around the end of October, like around my birthday. So this was I'm real glad to see these. I'm glad they all came through, and I'm really looking forward to doing programming and messing around with them even more. Going about getting the cable for the Pro X PCB and controller. 540. Jeez, Cip. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I appreciate you, dude. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call this one. Y'all have a great evening. I'm so stoked that you know, y'all could sit through these builds with me and play around with the Cip board stuff. And yeah, this is really exciting times for Topre. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good night, or, you know, good morning for everybody else. Bye, y'all.